Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here with us today. I want to follow up with you on a few of the questions that have been raised. First, I appreciate learning about the reshoring effort for APIs in our medicines. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that, because one of the things we've learned over the last year especially is our dependency on China for rare earth and critical minerals, and pharmaceuticals seem to be in that same situation, and I'm encouraged to hear about this investment, and I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that.
I mean, we are, President Trump has made it a priority to reshore all pharmaceutical production for critical medicines in this country. The APIs, as you know, are the precursor chemicals and compounds that go into building a variety of pharmaceutical drugs. During COVID, it became clear that we did not have any control. We were virtually producing no APIs. They're all coming from China and India, most of them from China. So President Trump has made this a priority, and we have, in addition to the $325 billion that we're putting into it, there's also $1 million that we're putting into it. President Trump is putting billions in from the tariffs, and we have secured agreements during the MFN negotiations with these companies to build billions and billions of dollars of plants right here in the United States. I think Lilly alone is building 6 new plants. Pfizer's building plants. All the big companies are now building here in the United States. We're going to be in a lot more secure position 2 or 3 years from now than we are today.
Wonderful. Does BARDA need any more contracting authorizations to help accelerate domestic production?
You know what? I will have to meet with you. I know we have a slightly expanded power under the last bill, and I need to meet with my staff over there to see if there's something additional that we need, and I appreciate that offer, and we will get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Also wanted to follow up with you on some of the unethical practices used by China, because one of the concerns with their clinical data is sometimes it may be linked to forced labor or other human rights abuses. Is there anything HHS can do about those kinds of?
Well, yeah, before we came in, there were no surprise inspections, and now we're doing that, and we're doing a lot of them. We're doing surprise inspections over there to make sure that they have their IND, to make sure that they have their IRB approvals, and to make sure that they're conducting this ethically, that they're not, going to minority groups and forcing them to participate in studies where they have no choice over. And that's something that we've seen there in the past.
Thank you. Rural providers increasingly vulnerable to cyber attacks that can disrupt care and compromise patient data. Is there anything HHS can do to help these providers strengthen their cybersecurity before an attack and then also maintain operations after an attack?
Well, the rural health, I think that there's 2 things. I can't answer that with the specificity that you deserve. I can say the Rural Health Transformation Fund has a lot of the states have chosen to spend that money on AI and telemedicine, and that has to be very, very heavily armored against cyber attacks. Otherwise, you can get patient information. We have at HHS now the best team in its history for cybersecurity, and we've been able to recruit the top names in Silicon Valley who are now working in the agency to armor, to fortify our biosecurity capacity, and it's something that is a huge priority for us. As we move to AI, and they can crack passcodes, and there's a lot of scary things happening and we don't want people stealing patient information.
And then just one final thing on the glyphosate. I represent a district that's rural, strong agricultural. You got corn, beans, sugar beets, all benefit from glyphosate. And And I think it's important when we talk about some of these products about carcinogenic, it certainly depends on, the content and it's not just sort of a one size fits all. And I appreciate the fact that you recognize our dependency on China with that. And as we look for alternatives that may be better fitted, that it's not a knee-jerk reaction on that. So thank you.
And I think, there's now very, very promising technology to replace intensive pesticide use, particularly in sugar beet fields. Less so with corn and soy, but laser technology, laser weed killing technology, which is now beginning to proliferate around the country and kind of promises an era of chemical-free agriculture.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.